that thing gets satisfied over here when you look at our SR and it actually looks like an apartment where you find clothes hanging on the railing and all and everything like that. So the most interesting and amazing relationship I share is with my brother. He's younger to me by 2 years, and we have lots of fun and everything, and he's the person I miss the most over here. We often hear of people telling that actually they get into a serious mode of study and all when they get into the high school, when they have to prepare for the boards and exams like that. But in my situation, it's been exactly the opposite. Until the 7th grade, I was such a diligent student. Every day I used to go back and study, and especially before the exams, when I used to have the unit tests and all, I used to even do 2 revisions. Then all of this thing entirely overturned when I entered into the 8th grade. I stopped studying. I used to listen to classes obviously, and the only other thing I used to do was study one day before the exams. And but I still used to get grades, unlike over here, which doesn't seem to happen. But I was always confused about which field I wanted to choose. So even during my 12th grade, I was interested in mathematics and English. Those were the 2 subjects. And so even during the completion of my 12th grade, I still couldn't make up my mind. So being from AP, especially a state where you have only 2 options open to you. If you're a math student, basically you have MPC, otherwise you have BPC. So I chose MPC and got into engineering. But I have to thank my mom for looking at the tiny ad in the newspaper. Thank God she saw the IPM ad, and then finally I'm over here. And over here I get to actually know that I am interested in studying economics. I really enjoy studying it as a subject. And I'm from a convent school, and over there you were expected to speak highly accented English at all times, whether you were in the playground or you were in the classroom. So my initial few days over here were truly overwhelming. It was like Hindi everywhere. People starting from the people who came to clean the room to some of the professors, it was like Hindi everywhere. And I think the other most amazing part about being over here is my group of friends. They are from each and every part of the country, literally, and speaking all kinds of languages, and it's like a really nice exposure or a melange of all the kinds of cultures and all over here basically. And unlike now, you might be thinking that we are such busy people, especially this term and the previous term, we actually don't have even time to look out of the classrooms and out of our busy schedule. However, this was just not the case. During our first year, most of the time we were Vela, and that is when I discovered one of my passions which is really dear to me, and that is badminton. I started playing badminton, in the sense I used to play, but then I developed it more after coming over here, and you could find me on the court more often than you could find me anywhere else in the campus. So apart from badminton, writing and learning new languages and also traveling are some of my other passions. And I'd like to mention that I am clearly fluent in 5 languages. So like Tamil, which is my mother tongue, Telugu, my state language, obviously Hindi and English, and also French. I've completed A2 level, and that's more or less about me. And I live by the philosophy of live and let live. So thank you.
Thank you, Kiran. I probably have not seen such a confident speech from a level 1 speaker. I don't. Next to come up will be, let's see.
Good evening, all of you. Well, my throat is a little bad, so I hope you can hear me since I have no mic. Like Kiran, I think she covered almost all aspects of a normal teenage girl and life up till here. And I'm also being a Toastmasters member since past, I think, 1 year. But this again my level 1 icebreaker speech. My Toastmasters friends, PTP1, who actually now I'm feeling nervous because of them. I would start my speech with a sentence which I created I would rather say I described my life in that way, which I learnt in subjects in IPM course. Life. Life is just like entropy, following the second law of thermodynamics, disorderness. It's every point of time is a trade-off, unpredictable. Always we're on a race to maximize our gains, reaching to a level of optimal condition. But again, I will describe my life as unpredictable, following not at all a single law of nature, what I suppose. So, I'm Akshichu here, spelled as A-K-S-H-I. It's not Akshi, it's A-K-S-H-I, Akshi. It means eyes and star. I'm a person who loves to enjoy everything and I love being myself. I think most of you do that. So, when I began writing about myself, recollecting my memories, I actually ended up writing nothing. Nothing at all came to my mind. Then as a normal human being, I had to make efforts to write, ask about my friends actually about myself. So I wrote. One thing I realized about myself, that I'm very curious about myself. I'm always in a inquisitive aspect of asking why this happens. Why? I mean, why is the question, I just love it. And I used to scratch people's head in this aspect the most. But still unanswerable about myself. Why am I here? Why am I born? Let me move forward towards the question of what, where, when and how. What and where? I was born on January 4, 1994 in Delhi, in a Christian hospital. I don't know why I mentioned this Christian word, because I like Christians actually. Now I live in Haridwar with my parents. My father is in BHEL and my mom is in SBI. From childhood I am living in Haridwar in the BHEL township. As you all are aware of that Toastmasters, you have to give so many speeches. So not unrevealing many of the incident, I will just letting my speech in a very simple as the journey of my life, divided into so many phases. Now, after that, I started my little steps. Not to school, obviously, to a crawler. I learned how to walk. And as every parent say, I was the person, actually a baby, who learned very quickly how to walk. As my parents love, thanks to them. And then, after that, I learned quickly the walking. I think you must be doing in excess here and I am, the walking. And then I was put in a daycare center because my mother was working. And I still remember that aunt was horrible. She used to treat us like chickens and just animals, like used to feed us and make us sleep. The worst part, I hate sleeping at night. Then I came, thank God it's over now. Then came the play school, fun of my life. And the due course of the time, when I was in play school, I got a beautiful gift. I think most of you are having this gift. My sister was born in 1996 June. She was very lovely. I was so happy that I will have a new companion, a very small sister. But then, I think 4.5 months ago, but my speech is a little longer, so bear it. So, I was having a young sister, but that time I realized that how possessive I am for my parents. I used to love them badly, and I used to love my sister badly, but I hated the fact that my parents loved my sister. I never wanted direct connection between my sister and my parents because I was so, I don't know, possessive about their love as a big child. But then again, come the mature part of life and I understood, okay, this has to be there. I'm the younger child, I'm the older child. And then the school, I was so glad, new life as a child. Very reluctant to go to school initially. But then I don't know how my life got changed, and being a reluctant student, not to recall at all to the school, I started going to school so often that I cried at a fact if I could miss a single day at my school. I was so passionate about getting this 100% attendance award, maybe inspired by Dettol ad or something. So this was like that. And then I attended my school days as usual. I was good in studies. Everybody's here. Here I am. So I was good in studies and consistent in good marks. And I was follow account holder at my school. I started in DPS Haridwar. And then pertaining to the fact that life is a change, I ended up in exploring myself that I'm not that shy person which I used to be in initial childhood days. And then initially I was very sophisticated, very shy. But after coming here, actually, when I once went to Aditya's room, I think, to give Toastmasters money, I realized that he had a very clean room, and and after that I realized, okay, a guy's room can be so clean. Okay, I'm not that clean person, but it's okay. I feel the warmth in my room if it's not clean. So after that, yeah, in class 10th, and I got a pretty good marks in board exams, and it's not a CV narration, but I must mention that I got a best student of the school, pride of the school award in class 10th for my class 9th, because I was good student in studies, as well as I tried to involve as many activities in the school, be it sports, music, dance. I learned Kathak dancing. I loved painting, and I liked singing. I'm not a singer, so. And that's how I got into class 10th, the best pride of the school award. And then again the 11th and 12th, I was so happy that I'm gonna leave my biology, social science, history subjects. I don't know what fact came into my mind in class 11th that I want to be a doctor, and I ended up taking biology. And I loved mathematics, so I had to take both. So I took PCMB as my class 11th and 12th. But I took engineering coaching for 2 years, keeping that in mind that I had to do medical. I don't know what. So that engineering coaching actually made me more good in physics and chemistry, and I could actually make up to All India PMT, but yeah, my rank was in waiting. So the colleges were not pretty good, which I was getting, and I got into engineering. But since I'm a little adventurous person, so I thought, why not to explore some other things also. So I just wanted to go to Delhi University and just wanted to spend time there. So I got admission into St. Stephen's College, Maths Honours, and then spent my 1.5 months there. I think that was the best and the golden period of my life one could ever had. I don't know about you, but Stephen's College actually has a name, and I think I felt the same, that it has a name. And then, yeah. Then one of the traits I developed at that time called confusion, which my friends gave me as a Miss Confused title. And then confusion came, and I was confused with my engineering options and St. Stephen's College. And I got into Indraprastha University, Delhi, so I was so confused that I used to go both the colleges together sometimes. In a week, I used to go 2 days to St. Stephen's and 3 days to college, or I don't know from Delhi or not, if somebody is from Delhi, they will understand the Rajiv Chowk station in the Delhi metro, and I used to decide there where I need to go and change my metro line. And so I enjoyed half a month like this. And anyway, I knew because I had to choose one, so why not enjoy like this? So I did a little crazy stuff like this. And then, yeah, move forward. And at last, when I just decided that, yeah, I need to go do engineering and leave St. Stephen's College, and I left, then came this option. I don't know why. It's just, I don't know why. I actually came here unknowingly on 14th of November 2011. Till 13th November, Saturday night, I was preparing for my fest in the engineering college, and on Sunday morning I landed up here unknowingly, cursing my fact that why I left, and then I came here. And after coming here, and why I came here, I was driven by the fact, and I was very inspired by the Robert Frost lines that 2 roads diverged in yellow wood, and I chose the one that less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. So I think this fact of being a pioneer, or being an initiator, driven and paved my way here, and I just want to explore myself here, study everything, because here we're getting chance to study science, economics, commerce, humanities, every possible subject. So I'm here, and that's it. And as a person, I'm not that emotional. My mental has still that closure of the emotional department. And being here, I would just like to say that be always be creative, be yourself. And I think creativity is what define one, and innovate, and be just just explore yourself first and then explore the world, and I think world will follow you automatically. Thank you.
It's amazing when she came up here and said that she has nothing to say about herself. And, she took up, I think, 2 prepared speeches. Anyways, and one good thing I found out that it's amazing how you know more about yourself as the days go along. I mean, 2 days back I also came to know about myself. Very interesting fact. I was down with fever, cold, and whatnot. So I was sitting in my room. I realized that I can probably be the world champion of a competition if there might be such a competition where I can go for the longest time without rubbing my nose. I'm counting on that. I mean, I'm telling this is joke, so you're supposed to laugh. And I'm giving Anusha some more time to evaluate her speech. Your speech. Without much ado, I would like to call Parigi. The dais is open for your level 2 speech.
Hello everyone, I'm Parigi Bhandari giving you my level 2 speech. Here it goes. Recently I came across a post on Facebook relating to introverts, which I couldn't stop myself from sharing. Being an introvert myself, I'm also being inspired by a Toastmasters manual, which suggests that you should speak on something you strongly feel about. So here I come, stand before you, to talk on the topic, introverts, the most misunderstood people in the world. I guess some of you people over here might be introverts, and if so, you might be able to connect to some of the things which I say. Or else the extroverts will get to know about a whole different group of people whom they love calling the shy, the depressed, anti-social kind of people, and also the ones whom they find the most difficult ones to understand. Anyways, extroverts are always craving to know people. I mean, they try to search through every other person they come across, and when they try to look into the introvert's mind, that is what the introvert hates the most. I mean, why should someone encroach on your freedom? And if you're an introvert, you are more likely to be misunderstood or have your actions misinterpreted. Situations when people mistake your thoughtful look to be a resting bitch face, or when people or when spending a heavenly weekend alone would mean that you're missing out on time with your friends. The feeling of dread that washes your face when the phone rings and you don't really and you're not mentally prepared to chat with someone, or situations where you hear phrases from people like, "Are you okay? Why are you so quiet?" for the umpteenth time, and you feel like asking the other person, "Are you mad?" What? Even situations when you are thinking about something and people interrupt you and you feel irrationally angry. Situations when you take a book to a public place so that people will not bug you, but some people even take that as a conversation starter. These things usually happen with all of us. But is specially understood with only the introverts. Now, despite comprising about an estimated of 1/3 of the general population, introversion seems to be still the most misunderstood personality trait. And the very distinction between introversion and extroversion is what we need to understand. Although the difference is far more complex from being just shy versus an outgoing person, but it has its roots in psychology. But talking about it in more simple terms, psychologists describe an introvert person to be one who is more focused on his own inner world and the one who gains stimulation when he is in solitude. Talking about an extrovert person, he actually gains energy, I don't know how, by talking to people and by interacting with people. This is something strange which I find in this world. Well, if stereotypes have got anything to say about introverts, it's like they are those socially awkward loners who abhor crowd and don't really like people. I mean, this is the hype. Why should they forget that even introverts are human beings? and they do like people, they do like to interact with people. Only the difference being that they like to interact for a limited time extent till they are not drained out of their energy. And for the little time for which they interact with the people, they do it like any other normal human being. So introverts do like people, and the only difference is that they like them in their own different ways than the extroverts. Well, another misconception relating to this is that shyness is often confused for introversion. But psychologists make it quite clear that shyness is related to your feeling fearful about social situations when you are to interact with the people, whereas introversion is about how much and to what extent you want to be involved in those interactions. We take Bill Gates. So he is an introvert person, but still he is not shy. He feels at ease around people, but still he is confident. And at the same time he is bookish, he is quiet, and has been categorized as an introvert person. So it's not always necessary that a shy person is an introvert and an introvert person is shy. This is a total misconception. It's also assumed sometimes that introverts are the more depressed kind of people. I do understand that they feel emotional closure sometimes, but this should not be taken for their being depressed. This fact seems to be coming up from the situation where it's just because the extroverts feel energized when they interact with people, this doesn't seem to be a logical reason to assume that people living alone feel depressed. I mean, this is something we need to check. Now, talking about the world where we live, we see that everyone is trying to move towards extroversion, and be it schools, colleges, workplaces, or any place, everyone is trying to be an extrovert, even though there is no correlation between being the best talker and having the best ideas. Even the collar schemes which we see today, like spend less, talk more, and they call it double maza. I mean, I don't know why should it be double maza for anyone. So now, given our culture's bias towards extrovert personality traits, somehow the introverts in this world are getting a message that their style of being introvert and living a quiet life is not the one they should go ahead with. But this, I feel, is really not good for them. Neither is it good for the society, because when the psychologists try to search through the lives of the most creative people in the world, they find that they have a streak of introversion in them. Talking about Gandhi, Charles Darwin, Hewlett Packard, even Steve Jobs, he made the new computer sitting alone in his cubicle. So, and even we have been looking, we have come to acknowledge the importance of transcendental solitude since ages. Like